Hi guys, Iceberg here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanna talk about a single dynamic driver IEMS, the Sivga QA-UTG. The standout feature of this model, that inside there is a 10mm dynamic driver with ultra-thin glass diaphragm, priced at around $89. Well, let's get straight to it and find out if this glass diaphragm delivers crystal clear sound or it's just a marketing decision. Let's go! And before we jump into the review, I would like to give a big shout out to the Sivga team for providing these IEMs and their support. As always, you can find the purchase link in the description below the video. Alright, the Sivga QA-UTG comes in a compact branded box with a minimalist design. Inside, you will find the IEMs themselves, a modular 2-pin cable, 2 sets of ear tips, a 4.4 balanced plug, a spacious case, and some papers. Speaking about the cable, it's genuinely pleasant to the touch. It's thin, flexible, with comfortable ear hooks and doesn't tangle at all. All the hardware is metal, and the modular connection allows you for easy swap between 3.5 and 4.4 plugs. For this review, I'll be using a 3.5 plugs to connect the IEMs to a wide range of sources. The Sivga comes with the 2 sets of silicone ear tips in 3 sizes and slightly different in shape. The first set are transparent with a black core and a slightly narrow bore, very similar to those included with the SIMGOT IEMs. These don't alter the sound signature, delivering it as intended by engineers. The second set is grey with a slightly wider bore, which in my opinion suit these IEMs better, as it enhances and emphasizes their sound signature, which we'll discuss shortly. The shells are made of zinc alloy, neatly coated in a glossy grain paint. The faceplate is adorned with a green sandalwood insert and the elegant Sivga logo inside. In person, it looks stunning and definitely catches the eye. On the inner side of the shells, there is a metal nozzle. It's neither wide nor tall, rather the opposite. It's low and surprisingly narrow, which fits my small ears perfectly. So guys, a quick tip: if you have a small ears or find some IEMs uncomfortable due to pressure on your ear canals, I can confidently say the Sivga QA-UTG will fit for you. You will also find 2 vents and clear channel markings, which deserve a special thanks. The shells are weighty, weighing about 10 grams each, and you can feel that weight when picking up them. However, once in your ears, they feel surprisingly light. Regardless of the ear size or canal shape, the shells sit comfortable and securely, offering a tight fit and decent isolation. In my small ears, the fit is snug and deep, the shells don't protrude and their weight is barely noticeable. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, how this IEM sounds. And before we get started, I'll quickly show the graph of the Sivga to understand their sound signature. Well, this is really a unique curve, which is tuned according to the individual preferences of the Sivga team. The most noticeable feature is the rise from the upper mids to 8K Hz relative to the rest of the graph, hinting at a bright and airy presentation with crisp, vibrant sound. The lower frequencies, however, take a backseat to the emphasized highs and may not satisfy bass heads. As you can see, the low end starts at 61 dB in the sub-bass region, peaking at 63 dB in the mid-bass, suggesting soft, textured bass rather than punchy, boomy one. The mids are slightly recessed, and this may be some lack of body or expressiveness in the lower vocal and instrument range. Overall, the graph shows a neutral bright U-shaped signature with the emphasis on upper mids and treble. But in reality, the Sivga QA-UTG delivers a bright, clean and energetic sound that leans more toward a V-shaped signature thanks to a surprisingly deep bass. I wouldn't call this warm or cold IEMs, they rather keep a balance. So, in this review I'll pair this with the warmer decks to make the sound more pleasant and intimate. Honestly, they make a great first impressions, and I always enjoy single dynamic driver IEMs for their characteristic lightness and airiness without fatiguing harshness. This sound is likely influenced by a glass diaphragm, which replaced the beryllium one in the original model. The bass in Kia UTG is not about ear-shaking punches or subwoofer-like rumble. The bass is soft, controlled, and focused on quality over quantity. Thanks to dynamic driver with the glass diaphragm, the lows are fast, tight, and articulate. This is the kind of bass that doesn't dominate, but delicately waves into the overall sound, adding a depth and foundation without stealing the spotlight. The sub-bass is deep and tactile, felt more as a vibration than a powerful punch. However, if you are fond of extreme sub-bass, you might find the Kia UTG is a bit restrained in terms of aggressions and weight. The sub-bass is more subdued than aggressive, making it ideal for acoustic genres, classical, but less suited for hardcore electronic music. The mid-bass is where the Kia UTG is really surprised. It's tight, dense, and expressive, with excellent texture for instruments. This range handles the foundation of drums, bass guitars, and lower piano notes. And these IEMs excel here. The mid-bass doesn't overwhelm the soundstage, allowing vocals and mids to stay up front. It's a perfect balance for genres like jazz, blues, rocks, or acoustic music, where detail and musicality matter. If you value quality over quantity and want bass that complement rather than overshadow the music, the Kia UTG lows are made for you. The lower mids in the Kia UTG are velvety, full-bodied, with a slightly warm tint, adding soulfulness and depth to the sound. The mid-range here is transparent, emotionally rich, and detailed, with slightly emphasis on the upper mids that adds brightness and liveliness. It's not a neutral, studio-like presentation, but rather a musical and engaging one that makes vocals and instruments feel so alive that it feels like the musicians are playing right in front of you. The glass diaphragm ensures clarity, articulation, and naturalness in the mids. The mid-range in the Kia UTG doesn't take a backseat, it's a golden balance between warm musicality and a crystal clear detail. The upper mids are slightly emphasized, adding brightness, airiness, and energy to the sound. Guitars and pianos sound crystal clear, and cymbals are crisp without harshness. Violins in this range are rich, detailed, and refined. This upper mid emphasis makes the Kia UTG particularly suited for the genres where detail and energy are the key. Though, for listeners sensitive to brightness or during long listening sessions, pairing with a warmer source can soften the sparkle. The treble in the Sivga Kia UTG are sparkly, airy, and detailed, with a focus on the clarity and lightness. The glass diaphragm provides a fast response and transparency, letting the treble shine without sharpness or fatigue brightness. These aren't analytical cold highs, but rather musical and energetic, adding space and emotional spark to the music. The Sivga Kia UTG strikes a balance. The treble are expressive enough to highlight details, but smooth enough to avoid irritation during extended listening. Then make the sound light and open, especially noticeable in genres where the airiness and subtle nuances matter. In the presence region, the Kia UTG sounds bright, clear, and energetic, with a focus on detail but without aggressions or sibilance. The brilliance region reveals its airy and transparent nature, with the glass diaphragm showcasing its strange, in delivering fast response and crystal clarity. One minor note is the slightly brightness in the lower treble can stand out with the bright sources, but a warmer DAC or CD player easily smooths it out. If you're looking for IEMs that make violins, cymbals and vocals lively, transparent and energetic, the QA-UTG is your path to the audiophile bliss. The soundstage in the Sivga QA-UTG is impressively wide, deep and airy, creating a sense that music isn't just in your ears, but surrounding you. Thanks to the unique glass diaphragm, this QA-UTG delivers spatial magic rarely found in IEM of this class. The stage isn't as grand as Pricer or hybrid models, but for IEMs under $100, it's remarkably expressive. Instruments and vocals are separated with perfect precision, and sounds seem to float in a three-dimensional space, creating a sense of depth and immersions. This isn't a flat canvas, but a full-fledged sonic picture that pulls you in from the first second. Imaging is quite accurate, allowing listeners to easily pinpoint the position of each instrument or vocal. Instrument separation is so clear that you can focus on any element of the tracks without losing the overall picture. Okay guys, let's do a quick comparison between the Sivga QA-UTG and the budget single DD IEMs, the Sivga EW200. The bass in the Sivga is controlled, tight and textured, with a focus on mid-bass. It's fast and precise, but slightly restrained in the sub-bass, lacking a powerful boom. In contrast, the EW200 bass is punchy and energetic, with more pronounced sub-bass, delivering deep rumble and vibration. However, in complex tracks, it can be slightly less articulated. The Sivga mids are transparent and emotional, with a slightly upper mids emphasis. Vocals are airy and full-bodied, and instruments are melodic and expressive. The EW200 mids are more varied and warm, but a bit more refined, with a subtle upper mid tilt. Vocals are natural, but can lack richness due to V-shaped sound signature. The QA-UTG's treble are sparkly, airy and highly detailed. Instruments sound crystal clear, though slightly brightness may fatigue with bright sources. The EW200's treble are brighter, with great extension, but no sibilance. In summary, the Sivga QA-UTG is the choice for those seeking detail and spacious on stage, and elegant design. They are ideal for jazz, classical, rock and acoustic genres. If you're willing to spend a bit more for technicality, they will impress. And the Simcot EW200 at $40 is a versatility all-rounded with energetic bass and comfortable sound, perfect for everyday listening. It's less source demanding and ideal for those who want the most for the least. Okay guys, let's do another quick comparison with the dynamic Simcot EA500LM. The bass in the Sivga QA-UTG is controlled with a mid-bass focus. It's textured and fast, ideal for jazz and rock, where the bass guitars sound rich and articulate. Sub-bass is deep but not aggressive, potentially lacking boom. The EA500LM's bass is powerful and deep, with a sub-bass focus, and its gold nozzle make them more controlled and full-bodied. The QA-UTG mids are transparent and emotional, with a slightly upper mids emphasis, making them great for acoustic and jazz. The EA500LM's mids are warm, highly detailed and analytical, with a V-shaped presentation. The QA-UTG's treble are sparkly, airy and detailed, while the EA500LM's treble are bright, sparkly, with greater extension and refinement. Alright folks, to summarize, the Sivga QA-UTG is crowd for those who appreciate emotion and aesthetic in music. They're not trying to be strict, analytical IEMs, but focus on engagement and listening pleasure. Their transparent, detailed and slightly bright sound is perfect for jazz, acoustic, classical and vocal tracks. However, if you're fond of heavy metal or bass-heavy electronic music, you might want to look for something with more powerful lows. For $89, you get IEMs that look and sound more expensive than their price. They are not a flagship killers, but in their category, they offer a unique character that's hard to find elsewhere. Sivga with the QA-UTG once again proves they can combine style, quality and sound. And what do you guys think about the Sivga QA-UTG? Share your thoughts in the comment below. Give it a like and subscribe to the channel to catch more reviews. See you soon, take care and may the music always make you happy. Bye bye!